What is it, boy? What is it?
Mushrooms!
Guten Morgen, Volks. Es ist Magnus Brunner. Good morning, folks. It is Magnus Boner. Today I'm coming to you from the Olympic National Forest. We're at Browns Creek Campground. Here in about an hour, my best buddy Josh and his wife T will be showing up. We're going to hunt some chanterelle mushrooms, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. But before we get into that, I want you to smack that subscribe button for me. First thing I'm going to say is I am not responsible for you. Neither is YouTube. This is a disclaimer. I'm going to give you some information about mushrooms and mushroom hunting as I understand it. Use that information at your own risk. Don't assume I'm an expert because I'm talking at you in front of a camera. I am not responsible if you ingest something in the woods, get sick, and die, or if one of your loved ones does. That shit is on you. Okay, now that's out of the way, I'm going to go back and pretend to be an expert. So chanterelle mushrooms are very common here in Washington, Oregon. Anywhere where it's wet and rainy, they seem to grow, especially here on the Olympic Peninsula. The spot I'm going to be going to is not a secret spot. Most mushroom hunters have their secret spot. I never got one of those. This place was showed to me by a buddy. It's up by the Labar Horse Camp. And that's all the information I'm going to give you, because if you're in that area, you're in mushroom country. So there's two kinds of chanterelles. There's a white one, and then there's one that's golden, or yellow, or orange. As far as the golden chanterelle goes, it is my understanding that there's only one other mushroom in the woods that really looks like it. And I've only ever seen one. And it doesn't look that much like it. The color is very similar, but if you turn it over, it has legit gills on it. And that's how you define it, is the chanterelle. It's kind of got these veiny, very shallow, not really a traditional gill, where these have gills like a cremini or a portobello or one of those kind of mushrooms. So that's how you tell that this is not a chanterelle. My understanding is this look-alike mushroom is toxic, but the toxins are heat volatile. So if you were to accidentally pick that and you cooked it with your chanterelles, you would cook off the toxicity. That said, you know, do this at your own risk. I was shown how to hunt chanterelles by a buddy of mine who studied mycelium at the, I think it's called myceliology, at the Evergreen State College, and he was kind of a fungus expert, and he took me out and showed me how to hunt chanterelle mushrooms, and I've been hunting them for almost 8 to 10 years now, I think. I'd have to think about that. I've never had an issue. I find them extremely easy to identify. I taught my former sweetie how to identify them, and we literally hunted pounds of these things and consumed so many that I'm sick of them and only eat the damn things about once a year now. It's more about this field trip than it is actually the eating for me. But next footage you're going to see is we're going to actually be out hunting these things, and I'm going to show you the specifics of what it takes.
It's Magnus Booner with Joshua King. We're at our secret mushroom hunting spot. I got my oh, look at that! Here's a can of beer.
Little Red Riding Hood brought a beer. I brought a bag because I did not want to get charged 5 cents. So I brought my own bag to pick mushrooms.
And I got my basket. We're going to get off in these woods here and find some mushrooms. So this is what typical chanterelle area looks like. You see to the left of that stump we've got some Oregon grapes. Then we've got these sword ferns. And a lot of times you'll find chanterelles growing next to old rotten logs. Like, oh wait, what's this? As you can see, there's one right there. We're going to cut that. We found a mushroom. Ugh. So often you'll find these and they'll be covered up with some moss and what have you. So what you do is you kind of pull that off so you can find the stem. So you can get a nice cut on the stem. So there we go. You expose it, and now I'm going to saw it off. And then I like to give it a little pre-clean because you want to keep as many fir needles out of the frying pan as possible. That's key. Then when you're down here, you always take another look around, because normally when you find one, you find another, like there's one up there. They seem to grow in packs, and you get down at ground level and you start spotting more of them. You always have to make sure you're not standing on them. Also, you got to navigate this beer can. That's always part of the challenge, especially on uneven ground. Okay, you can see there's two here, grown together. Gonna saw them off nice and low. There it is. Couple nice mushrooms.
So what kind of knife are you using there? That looks awful sharp.
Cold Steel Voyager. This was about 2002 vintage when they were still made in Japan. These were good knives. I've had this forever. This scenario is common when you're mushroom hunting, especially early year. You can see one peeking out there, and then another one under this Oregon grape. But as you see, as we dig in here, there's a couple nice chanterelle buttons right there. Let's talk about mushroom hunting gear. This is a wicker basket. As you can see, we found a few mushrooms. This is the superior way to gather mushrooms. As you put them in this basket and then you wander around the forest, these things are shedding mycelium. And as they're doing that, the mycelium gets deposited and more mushrooms grow up. This is a beer. It's key to have beer with you when you're chanterelle mushroom hunting. There, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. We got one here. This is a nice looking one. It's always very important when you're doing this to look where your feet are so you don't step on any. You got to set down your beer to cut these. That's challenging. But as you can see, we got a nice one right here. We're going to saw it off real nice. Look at that. And once again, that's the distinct veins as opposed to a legit gill, so we know that's a real chanterelle. Look at that. Isn't she a beauty? Put that in the basket. You got another one over here.
You know this stuff is good because it's made in the USA.
This is free range and organic, shade grown, gluten free.
Was it recording?
It's recording right now.
Hey everybody.
Okay, we found some Oregon grapes here that actually have berries on them. Let's take a closer look. So that's what your Oregon grape looks like. These are very tart. I'm going to eat one and tell you what it tastes like. Tastes kind of like a very bitter grape. I guess that's why they call it an Oregon grape. Let's have another one. These are probably full of antioxidants and they're good for you. Mmm. I don't know why I'm eating these. They're really not that good. There it is. Oregon grapes.
Hi boys and girls. Right here we have a mushroom. You see it right under this moss right there. We're going to dig down in there. We're going to sneak up behind it and just slit its little throat. There we go.
Oh,
look at that button.
That's a cutie. Nice and young flesh. So firm and succulent. I can't wait to fry it in butter.
You want to touch it? Just touch it. There you go.
Look at that. Now that is one successful day of mushrooming right there. Look at those things.
Well, alright, I hope you guys learned something from that. And if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. If you got some comments, please share them down in the comments section. If you've got questions or advice on videos or want to see a video, shoot me an email at magnustboner@gmail.com and check out my blog at www.magnusboner.com. Hey, thanks a lot. Share this with your friends and have an outstanding day.